Welcome along to our latest Zoom chat, talking to the great and the good of the EFL. Today it's the turn of Nottingham Forest. Matty and Michael Dawson have joined us, and we're ably assisted as ever with my Sky Sports wingman, Don Goodman. Gentlemen, welcome along. Thank you all very much for your time. Let's do a general bit of housekeeping. Matty Cash, we'll start with you. How are things in quarantine? How are you getting on with it?
Yeah, it's going okay. I've been keeping myself busy in the garden, doing some gardening and some work. But no, it's okay. Obviously, it's not a good situation. We need to keep ourselves indoors and safe, and obviously, it's not good what's going on. So yeah, I've been keeping myself busy and indoors. Yeah.
Good to hear, Michael. What about you? Are you finding it as Matty's finding it? Do you have slightly different things on your hands to keep you busy?
Yeah, I have two young children, which is the wife's been incredible. She's doing the homeschooling. I tend to do the 10 o'clock feed and then put the young baby down and then go for a run. It's like, get the run. We're having the fitness coach, Chris Thorpe, is doing an incredible job, to be fair. We had a little Zoom gym session this morning, lads out in the garden, lads at home. So that was good to see everyone having a bit of banter and fun. But we've got a schedule where pretty much every day, apart from the weekend, we're having to do something. So, lads, you're finding that time where it's half an hour to go and do your work and get it back to the duties. But like Cassie said there, you're having time to do jobs. I actually did a little bit of pointing the other day that I never, ever thought I had time to do. So believe it or not, it was actually all right.
Yeah. Everything's still standing, which we presume is the most important part of that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's been no one drove on the bit of concrete. I've been pointing. They'll probably all move and what have you. But no, it's little things that you never have time to do when you're at home. Certainly as players, you're away an awful lot. You train, you travel. And I've always said you've got to embrace this. Enjoy time with your family, because certainly myself, who's a little bit older with the kids are at school, one young one, we never really get that time. So look, as hard times as it is, everything that's going on in the world, and it's certainly a real sad moment in time for everything it is, and you wish everyone's safe. But look, you've got to try and take something else out of that. And for myself at home with the family, I'm certainly making the best out of certainly a hard time.
At this period in time, Matty, it must be tough because, as Michael's saying, you're keeping fit. But I mean, you don't know when your next time when you're going to strap a pair of boots on and go and actually represent the shirt, do you?
Exactly. Yeah. No one knows. So that's the difficult part. We're doing all the fitness work and we don't know when we're going to be back fit. So that's what I mean. The timing of doing it. Like this morning, we done a session. Yesterday, we all done a 5K run and stuff. And then you're doing it and you're thinking, like, this is like, we're doing it to get fit. We want to play. So obviously we know that obviously it's as I said, it's such a sad time and stuff. Health is way more important for our family and our friends. So as I say, we obviously we're following the rules of the government and we have to wait for a decision to be made. But hopefully it will start getting better in the near future. Yeah.
I mean, we're sat here Zooming with four of us. You mentioned before we came on, Matt, that you did a Zoom session with 18 of the playing staff yesterday. Was that this morning or was that yesterday?
This morning, yeah.
How on earth, I mean, I think we're doing quite well at this moment in time, talking over it. How on earth do you keep 18 people on a Zoom chat all in the same place?
It was actually really good, wasn't it, Dawson?
Yeah, it was good. Thorpe did well. The gaffer was sat there in silence. Like, whoever didn't sign in, the gaffer's wrote down and he's got his notes, I'm telling you, for sure.
Doing extra work when we're back.
That's a good time to bring us onto the gaffer, don't you think? So he came in late. Obviously, Martin O'Neill started the pre-season for you. How well has he done, and what impressed you about him? What's impressed you about him so far?
Yeah, he's been brilliant. He came in obviously early pre-season, and just the way he is. He's just when he talks, you listen to him. His meetings are fantastic. The way he says stuff, like the meetings before the games and stuff, just get you right up for it. And obviously that is part of it, but his coaching as well is brilliant on the training field with like with me, as I said, working on my defensive work. It's been brilliant with me. He's really hard on me, which I like because he keeps you going. But he's been fantastic. Yeah, his coaching staff as well. He's brought in some really good coaches and really good people around the club that we all warm to. Yeah.
You say it's hard on you, Matt. I mean, he seems like such a genial, engaging fella. I mean, but we have seen games when we've been sat on the gantry watching, and he's very animated, isn't he? I think you can. Is it safe to say you can tell when he's happy and when he's not so happy, when he's frustrated?
Yeah, you can. You can tell. Yeah. As I said, it's every manager's when you're doing well, everyone's really happy and you're winning games. But with him, he's not like that. Inside he is, but he doesn't show. When we win a game, he's always about the next game, and before the game, it's always about that game coming up, if that makes sense. So when we lose, we bounce back, and he does some good speeches to get us back up for it. But when we win, he just keeps us on a level head, and it's good, really good there.
He's one of my favourite post-match interviewers, your gaffer.
Yeah.
He's just straight as a die, you know, even when you've won and you haven't played as well as he wants you to. So clearly he's got those standards, and he wants those standards to remain high, Dawes.
Yeah, well, I just want to say he's a genius because he's made Cafu into the new Cafu. Absolute genius when he walked through the door. The things he did, from, like you say there, Martin being in charge at the first day of pre-season. We did all the running, then we went to Spain, and it was from minute one when he got on the training pitch. He just, and certainly for someone from my point of view at my age and looking maybe not always at yourself as an individual, but obviously collectively, and the team shape he did, he always had like two teams, and everything you trained in your position. And he's just been a breath of fresh air. And Cashy touched on it there on his meetings. I always say it to everyone I speak to. He has you in the palm of his hands, and you just sit there and listen to him.
Michael, as you discussed that, I mean, it's obvious the admiration is mutual. Let me I'm going to slightly paraphrase a quote from your manager here. Regarding yourself, he said he would give Michael Dawson a contract for life. He's never seen anyone in his professional life who is as clever, who has the same background, who is as professional and as positive as you, Michael Dawson. Wow, you can see why you're talking so wonderfully effusively about him now, can't you?
I know.
Paying each of the bungs here, I tell you.
I know, there's no backhander, really.
Look, I've got an unbelievable relationship with the gaffer, and he's one of them that maybe because I'm older. When I was younger, I might not have been as open with managers because you've got your job to look. I started the season in a good run of form, was playing, I picked up an injury, players come in, and he's always got that respect for every player, whether you're in the team, and he's, like I said there, we go back to meetings, and he can only pick 11 players, 7 subs, but he's got a togetherness. We've got a squad of probably 24, anything between 20, probably 22 and 26 that train every day. And it's hard for him because all the lads, we've got a fantastic group. They train day in, day out. They train to a level, and he respects everyone. And that's why I think everyone respects him. He's got that honesty where he's got his team, and if you're not in, you've got to try and get in it.
You've seen so many managers over your career. I'm going to take you back to April the 1st, 2002. You made your debut for Nottingham Forest. And you
against you, John.
Against. Do you remember much about that game? Do you remember my big Barnet?
You know, I remember it all. Your Barnet was a bit higher. I remember that like one of the best feelings ever to me. It was a dream. Look at from the age of 9, I always followed Forest. 16, left home, became a schoolboy. 18, look. Paul Harty developed young players. Prutz, JJ, Reedy, Gaz Williams, players that just gone on. I probably missed some there, by the way. Probably quite a lot. He just kept doing it, and I got the opportunity. And I remember it, Don. You were there. It was incredible. I remember lifting someone in the second half as well and getting a yellow card. I was like,
that doesn't sound like you.
2-2 all. Or we maybe lost 2-0 actually. But
you lost 3-2, Dawes.
3-2. There you go. Did you score?
I can't remember. I don't remember much about it. Do you know what I do remember? I remember finding out that a young centre-half was going to make his debut. And I remember the first thought I had was that I was going to pick lumps out of you and see how you were. And I couldn't get anywhere near you. You kept getting on the ball and spraying these long diagonal balls. And, of course, you've done that for your whole career. And that's what I took away from that day. I knew that you'd have a good career. And it brings me around to the next question I wanted to ask you, Dawes. You've seemed to me like you're a real leader in an era where leaders are disappearing fast, very, very fast. And your peers are probably going to be what I would class as the last of the sort of old school. Why do you think that's happened? Why has that disappeared out of football?
Mobile phones, probably texting. Everything's done on a mobile phone. You just text, you don't speak. I think you look at now, we've got someone in Joe Worrell who I'm a big fan of. He's very confident. He's vocal. He goes about his job himself. And you look at our dressing room. I think we've got a great group. From the day I left home and I walked in with the young lads, Cashy, Joe Lolly, Joe Worrell. Look, the players went on, and I remember we went to St George's for 4 or 5 days, and I thought, what a group of players from the young academy, Yatesy, like the names go on, and then we had some senior lads who were in Watto, myself, Grabs we signed. Obviously, those kind of players, and you thought you need a bit of both. And in our dressing room, we've got a great group. Honestly, the lads are fantastic. I just think now everything's done inside social media. I've never been a big fan of social media, and I'm still not. I mean, people use it to the strengths, but I think as a player, for me, people criticise you, don't matter who you are. Some will love you, some will hate you. And I just think, I don't know as a player how that can ever help you. That's my personal opinion. I just think everyone's gone in themselves. But there is still leaders out there. I'm still sure of that. But it's just how you've been brought up. I had Harty ranting and raving at me. Cashy, Yatesy they speak about players who, coaches that were there, that brought them up. They were brought the hard way. And I always look back at Cashy and Yatesy and thought, they were probably the last of the group that you could really, really... Prutz, what about Harty? Horrible. He petrified. Yeah. He was like, he just stood us in good stead for the rest of your career and your discipline and everything like that. And I just think it sort of followed on, and I've kept going and hopefully keep going for a little bit longer with the likes of Cashy and the young lads that keep you young.
Matt, do you find that in the sense of how, especially let's take this season, for example, you've changed position and everyone was talking about you before, but they've been waxing lyrical about your ability in this newer position that you found. You mentioned how Sabri Lamouchi spoke to you about it. You talk about teammates and how they've helped you through it. Have you had a sense of that? Has it been an all-round people helping you to adapt? Have you found it hard to adapt? Because on the surface of it doesn't look like that at all. You've taken to it like a duck to water.
Yeah, it's been an all-round thing, I think. Obviously, I had the manager changing me in the position, and obviously I had Dawson right-sided centre-half as well. So that I was always, the first couple of games, I was thinking, I've got Dawson, I'm safe. Because obviously he's a leader, he's talking, he tells you where to go, and that helps massively. For example, if you got a player running off your back or a player just like off your shoulder, and you need the centre-half to say, Cashy, right, left shoulder. Early on, I had Dawson doing that, which is a massive. I'm not just saying it because he's here. It is a massive help. But yeah, all round sort of thing. Yeah, I tell you what. When I first changed, I had a lot of people saying, he's not a right back," and I was just, you hear it obviously. And I was just thinking, I want to try and prove a point here. Like I want to try and say, like, I can do this because I played there. I played there before. Just like I remember under Mark Warburton. He said to me that he thinks I'll be a fullback. So he put me there in training a few times. And I just thought, I think I've got this. But obviously I was a bit nervous and stuff, like the first few games and that. But yeah, I think I've just grown into it. The more games you play there, the more comfortable you get.
In modern football, I think your fullbacks are two of the most important people on the football pitch because they can offer you so much. And I always point to Liverpool for that. I always talk about Andy Robertson, who Dawson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and the amount of assists. So, Matty, for you to be in an era where the fullbacks have got real licence to bomb on because you've got holding midfielders, Ben Watson's been brilliant, hasn't he, this season? Gives you that licence. Do you think that that's probably allowed you to enjoy that role a little bit more because you've got the freedom to express yourself further forward as well?
Yeah, definitely. You look at the likes of Trent Arnold, he's unbelievable. In that position, I look up to him massively. He's unbelievable. I watch loads of clips on him on how to cross a ball. But as I said, with a licence going forward for our team, when you've got Sam Bassau and you've got Ben Watson in there, it gives me more freedom to go. Which obviously you got Yuri on the left side who likes to go as well. So it's finding the balance as well between me and him because we both like to go so much. when I go, he needs to stay, and when he goes, I need to stay. So yeah, that's what I mean. But I love getting on. I love getting crosses in the box. I love getting shots off. But sometimes I get a bit too giddy. So the manager has to tell me.
It's funny you say that, Prutton and Don. There, you say about fullbacks, and I was at Spurs with Danny Rose when he went into a left back.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of Cafu and Danny in the same sort of brackets as a winger. What are they like? Both of them powerful runners, quick, but are they that rapid from a standing start? And that's what I believe. Like you're going about fullbacks, Andy Robertson and Trent, and Spurs when they had their best season. Danny Rose and Kyle Walker.
Yes.
I said it at the time. They're the best two fullbacks as a pairing in the world.
Yeah.
Incredible. And it just shows with Cafu and Yuri, when they play well, we play well. And if you look when the games where we struggled Middlesbrough away, Yuri and Cafu, to be fair to them, didn't perform in where they had been. And as a team, we struggled. So you say there, Don, the fullbacks are so important in this day and age. It's incredible. You look at Liverpool, Robbo and Trent, they're just, like Cafu said there,
Have you seen the evolution then, Dawes? Have you seen the evolution in how... So Matty talks about having you inside him at centre-half, but we just mentioned it. You starting out in 2002. Was the role of a fullback different then?
Well, I always remember Matty Louis-Jean and Jim Brennan and the distribution of Darren Ward. Artie got us playing. Centre-backs had to be able to deal with the ball. And I think we've got, with Brees, distribution. Incredible. Best distribution in the league by a country mile. I mean, there was a game I think I missed. I think it might have been home. Someone at home anyway. I was injured. And I've never seen the performance. He was starting attacks from the left wing, the left back, over the top. It was incredible. So I think when your fullbacks are high and wide, your wingers might go in to cause the opposition fullback a problem. So our fullbacks can get out. It's just, and when you've got a distribution like a keeper like we have. So I don't think in that time, Prutz, answering that is because Jimmy and Matty Louis-Jean were incredible back in 2003. So I just think fullbacks are still so important and can cause you. The opposition are petrified. If you've got overlapping it, and I remember speaking to Woody after the game, Jonathan Woodgate, when we played Middlesbrough at home for the first half. We absolutely dominated the first 45 minutes, and Cafu was overlapping. I think it was Robbo played. Second half, they traded Coulson, I think, from left back to left wing and made Cafu run backwards. It changed the game. So I think fullbacks are always going to be important, especially when you've got fit ones like we have and so good on the ball, can take it. So I wouldn't say the game's changed drastically, Prutz, but I just think when you've got fullbacks, they're so important now.
Matthew, I'll come to you with this. Given where you are in the league, you're currently fifth, 10 points off second place. We saw that wonderful game at the City Ground when you beat Leeds, and you really were on the heels of the automatic promotion places. Is it of the mindset now where it's about the playoffs for Forest, and anything other than that would be, I mean, a wonderful, if kind of unseen bonus if you got into the top two?
Yeah, I think we, as I said before, we got to take every game as it comes. I think because if you win 5 in a row, for example, and Leeds lose a couple, West Brom leads a couple, you're right in the frame again. So I'd say playoffs would be a great achievement. I think from where we've been, I've been at the club 4 or 5 years now, and we haven't been nowhere near it. So I think if we get in the playoffs, or if we keep winning games and try to get there, you never know. So, as I said, I think it'd be a great achievement if we make the playoffs.
Do you think this break, this sad break, and it is sad for health reasons and the health of the world, but do you think when you go back, because everybody's got to have a pre-season, it isn't guaranteed that the teams that were flying before this break will be flying when you go back into it? Therefore, does that represent an outside chance? If you, for instance, you lost your first game of the season against West Bromwich Albion at the City Ground, we were there. They were excellent on the day. But you then went 10 games unbeaten. If you put something like that together, do you think it might be enough to get you fairly close?
Well, I mean, it's got every chance, Don. I mean, you look at Aston Villa last year, and I always go on about that. I always speak. I mean, I think it was 10 or 11 games, whatever it was. What is happening now, and the teams that were in a good vein of form, teams that were struggling, we go back, anything could happen. You don't know what lads have been doing, because as a football club or individual, you only do I do what I know I can do and what's going to stand me in the best when I go back to train. If I did nothing for 4 or 5 weeks, in a summer holiday, I have 3 weeks rest and I train for 3 weeks because I've got pre-season. Lads could be doing nothing, lads could be doing more. You just don't know. So what form they're going to hit when you go back, you don't know. It could, what did I say, 3.5 weeks? It could be another 5 weeks. It could be another 8 weeks. We don't know. So like you say there, Don, anything could happen with any number of teams. You just don't know. So you can't predict that. We'll just have to wait and see. And when we get back into training, you're going to say, look, we've got to get up to scratch as quick as possible, because football now, you have to be fit to play this game. You have to be fit. You see the athletes. I see some of the lads doing 5Ks yesterday. Some of the times are just incredible, absolutely incredible. They're real. And I look at Sheffield United. They are a fit team. Yeah. Team that got promoted from the Championship last year. And they are flying in the Premier League. Yeah. One of the best leagues in the world, in my opinion, the best league. And they're a fit team. I know they're a fit team because we have Ben Osborne, who was certainly in the top 2 or 3 of the fittest in the club at ours. And then he goes there and he's maybe not top 4. So I think the game now is you have to be fit to play this game. And that's something that I've noticed a lot since the day I started, the way people look after themselves and the Tuesday sessions when people are out on the drink. That don't happen anymore. That's my...
But you remember him.
What's that? Oh,
you remember him.
Daryl Murphy's told me a few about that.
I suppose it brings it into focus, doesn't it, when we're talking about when Dawson made his debut. And if I'm right, Matty, you would have been 5.
Yeah,
in 2002.
Yeah.
Well, it really does make you feel very, very old.
It does. It makes you feel old. But do you know what? When I go in that dressing room, I still feel as young as them. Yeah. I don't run around like them, but I've never been able to do that. But I just, honestly, I still love it. I still love getting out. We play 2-touch every morning. And the lads keep you young being in that environment. And that's something different now that you miss, just going and having fun. And we're fortunate. We're living the dream. I always say to every young lad, you are living the dream playing the football. And when you get older, maybe, I think probably 30, I've probably not put as much pressure on myself when I left Spurs to enjoy it, because you know one day it's going to come to an end, and you have a lot of pressure from family, you're in the public eye, and I think, look, that is something when you get older, that the pressures that you guys have obviously been in the game and come out of it is certainly the mental side. You've got to be certainly mentally strong to play this game.
And I suppose if it is the playoffs for you guys, then it's your experience of that would help perhaps Forest see it through.
Yeah, I mean, look, you talk about playoffs. I've had some experience of that. In 2003 was Sheffield United at home.
The red card one.
The red card one, done, yeah. Obviously, I'd had a first full season, dream come true as a season. And then I remember making a touch tackle against Steve Cabber, and who was sitting off? Mark Clattenburg sent me off, and I remember sitting in the change room of the City Ground, just crying with a towel over my head, thinking, "Wow, like you're missing the second leg of the semi-final, chance to get to the Premier League." And look, we went to Sheffield United and lost 4-2, and the rest was history. So look, that you've got to deal with the emotions of there. And then I got promoted. Look, it was one of the best days of my career getting back to the Premier League, because that is where every footballer wants to play. The Premier League is the peak, and testing yourself. And that's why I love what Sheffield United has done, because you've got a lot of them players in that squad that were playing League One football 3 or 4 years ago, and they took it by storm. 2 years ago, they missed out on the playoff in the Championship, I think, and then they got promoted. And what Chris Wilder's doing is incredible, and it sends a message out to the Championship. Look, you get a chance, and you get to the Premier League, you take it with both hands. What an opportunity!
Absolutely. And just to bring this full circle, Matt, and this is only just for my own curiosity, Matty Cash was mentioned in the same breath as Milan at the start of the year. I mean,
I heard about that.
Did we get? Was it one of those things that you picked up the paper and read, and you heard whispers of it? And was it any more concrete than that?
No, I heard. Obviously, my agent had a few chats with me and stuff. I think they had a few conversations, but I had a job to do at the time. We had a few games coming up, so I had to focus on that. But Yeah, obviously I heard about it, yeah.
Very diplomatically answered, Matt. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, gents, I just wanted to say thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. I know this breaks our day up. Me and Don and I have discussed it all the time. It gives Michael a chance to get away from the kids. I don't know what it gives you a chance to get away from, Matt, the dog, for a couple of minutes before you go out and take it for another walk. But, gents, we wish you all the very best. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll hope to see you on a football pitch very, very soon.